Okay, Cat and the Time-Travelling Vespa. It was 1984 and Cat Rossi was the queen of her street. She wore her silver lame jumpsuit like a badge of rebellion. Her dark hair feathered to perfection under a white scooter helmet emblazoned with a Target logo. Her pride and joy, a cherry red 1960 Vespa GS 160, had been rebuilt from scrap, with chrome wing mirrors fanned like peacock feathers and a radio wedged between the handlebars, blasting the jams a town called Malice. Her mates called her Cat on the Vespa because you could hear her coming before you saw her, a blur of Motown punk and Italian steel. But the Vespa wasn't just any scooter. There was something strange about it. One muggy London night, Cat was riding home from a secret soul night in Camden. She'd scored an original Small Faces pin from a bloke in a Parker who swore Steve Marriott had touched it once. Buzzing from music, nicotine and speed, the scooter's throttle mostly, she veered off the main road and took the long way round via an alley off Portobello. The engine growled, the radio hissed. Then it happened. A flash, a noise like the feedback from a bass amp. Everything blurred, headlights stretched into comet trails, and the air smelled of petrol, ozone and Brill cream. When the light faded, Cat was stunned, her Vespa gently humming beneath her, and the streets around her had changed. Gone were the neon signs and the new wave posters. In their place, two-tone coffee bars, shop fronts with hand-painted signs, and scooters, so many scooters, buzzing down the road like angry bees. Boys with narrow ties and slick-back hair laughed from the seats of Lambrettas and Vespas. Girls in shift dresses smoked outside milk bars, tapping along to a beat blasting from inside. She'd landed in 1962. Cat blinked. She was surrounded by mods, real mods, the originals. A nearby jukebox in a café window played the Who's Zoot Suit. A group of sharply dressed teens leaned against their scooters, fiddling with their tie pins and talking about an all-nighter at the Scene Club. Cat rolled her Vespa forward slowly. No one noticed anything odd about her. In fact, one guy gave her a nod of approval. "Nice mirrors, love." She parked next to a line of scooters. Lambretta Ally 150s, Vespa Rally 180s, even a tricked-out Douglas Vespa, painted Union Jack blue. In the cafe, she sat down next to a boy with thick lashes and a Harrington jacket. He introduced himself as Mickey. They talked music, the Kinks, Booker T and the MGs, Georgie Fame. He hadn't heard of the Jam or Madness, but she said they'd come along soon enough. He laughed and called her weird. But Cat could feel it, the rhythm of the time, the pulse of the real mod era, the passion, the pride. These weren't kids dressing up in vintage. They were vintage. They were the scene. For a while, Cat lived in 1962 like she belonged there. She danced at the Flamingo Club. She snuck into a Motown night in Soho, where a vinyl copy of Green Onions spun under blue light. She dated Mickey and rode pillion on his Vespa sometimes, though hers still outshone his. But the Vespa had a mind of its own. One rainy night, after a storming set by the high numbers, she rode home alone. The street was quiet. Her radio, silent for days, suddenly crackled to life. Going underground by the Jam screamed from the speakers. The Vespa shuddered. The mirrors rippled. Cat screamed, not in fear, but in furious joy, as the world bent around her again in sparks and sirens. And just like that, she was back in 1984. But she wasn't the same girl. Her scooter now sported a new sticker, Flamingo Club, London's mod mecca. One she hadn't put there. Her mind was packed with memories of real R&B nights, of Brill cream kisses, and of voices that spoke in slang she'd never known, but instantly loved. Cat parked her Vespa outside her local, engine cooling under the London fog. The radio played My Generation. She laughed because now, when she rode, she wasn't just riding through streets, she was riding through time. And the mods? They were always with her. Finn.